In this video, I'm gonna show you how to play the carry Swain hero augment in set 9.5. So basically, you only carry Swain once you have his hero augment, otherwise you don't play him as the carry. But if you get this augment, it's really good. So what it does is that it increases the damage per every 100 max health that Swain has. And every time Swain ultis, he gets more max health. So he just gets more and more HP, and he just does more damage because he has more HP then. And what you want with that is you need items that scale with HP. So that's gonna be Bloodthirster. It gives him a shield of 25% of his max health when he's at 40% HP. So you just imagine he ultis, he gets more max health, and then he procs the shield once he gets low. And you know, he stays alive a lot longer. And since his damage scales with his HP as well, he's gonna do a lot of damage, ramping up over the fight. So Bloodthirster also gives 20% Omnivamp. So then it's just gonna start healing up HP, and the longer he's alive, he's literally just gonna 1v9. Other than that, it's what I built on him, it's Protector's Vow. So I thought it would be bad because why have two shields proc at the same time? Then they're just gonna go out in 5 seconds and you won't get the value of the shield. But for some reason they just, my Bloodthirster procced first and then my Protector's Vow procced after, so they actually work together. So I just built these two. It's literally the highest win rate items on him as well. And the Protector's Vow is really good as well because it gives you mana, so he ultis faster and he starts stacking that HP faster. Other than that, the last items that you ever build on him, it's either it's Titan's Resolve. It's just really good. You get a lot of damage and also some defenses. But if you don't get a Titans, then you just go for any item that scales with HP. So it's either Redemption. He's gonna get so much HP, so he's gonna heal a lot with this, right? Or you go for Dragon's Claw. He heals 5% max health every 2 seconds. And since he will have so much HP, it's just gonna work so good. And that's it for the items. But how do you play the comp? What units, what traits do you go for? If you play Noxus, you wanna play the normal Samira Nathiri reroll, in my opinion. Because you're gonna roll for 3-star Swain when you have this augment, otherwise you are just wasting the augment. So you might as well roll for other units in the same cost. So try the 3-star Samira, try the 3-star Swain, and if you get Nathiri and Cassiopeia, it's good, but don't stay low level and be stuck looking for them if you already hit Swain and Samira. But it's a nice bonus. If you hit them, you hit them. And once you have a 3-star Swain and you have 3-star Samira, and then you start pushing levels to put in as many Noxus as possible, just to, you know, get more AP and more health. And then once you're at a bit higher level, you go for Mordekaiser. And there's a lot of good items on Mordekaiser, don't get me wrong. You can literally build any, you know, of the damage items on him. That's AP applicable at least. But once you play the Swain comp, you want a RFC if you can, because Swain is gonna be really tanky. You actually have a pretty good front line. So if you get RFC, the Mordekaiser is just gonna stand in the back, dishing out damage where he is safe, so he doesn't have to walk up and die. And since you have RFC, you can also go for a Ginso just to give him more attack speed, but it can be a Nashor's, anything like that. It's not set in stone. This is just what I think are the BIS items of Mordekaiser once you have this front line, but you can basically build whatever item on him. And Samira, These are pretty much the BIS item on her. Any AD item you can build on her, really. But the blue buff, if you can get that, it's really good because she has basically 30 mana and she's gonna ulti all the time if you get blue. So at least try to get the blue buff. Other than that, build whatever you hit right. The only thing you need to be picky about is Swain items. But let's get straight into the game where I show you a real example on how I play this. So we're kicking it off here on the minion rounds. We just got the first Darius as well as the Samira. So a pretty good opener for this comp. Obviously we haven't seen the augment yet, so we didn't know we were playing Swain. But from this angle you can just go the normal Noxus reroll comp. That was what I was thinking at the moment. We didn't get quite the items for it though, so it was kind of awkward. But we got cashed out, or bailed out rather, here once we saw the Demonflare augment. So that gives us... it basically went from us having the worst items to BIS items. Because now we can use the slam Bloodthirster on him. So we got a pretty weak opener. We have no 3-stars unfortunately. So we're not gonna level up here. We're gonna stay level 3 so we get a higher chance of hitting our Samira or Cassiopeia, because we're 1 away from them. Then you should never level up, because then you have a lower chance of hitting the 2-star once you have the 2 copies of the units. But still we didn't hit it, unfortunate. So what we're gonna do from here is we're just gonna go for a lose streak angle into the first minion round, which it's not too bad. So so I could put in the 2-star Orianna right there too, but there's no point in it. If I bought the 2-star Orianna, I would be below 20 gold, so I would have less gold. I still wouldn't have won the fight, so it just didn't make sense to play her. So I'm just gonna sell her there. We're gonna, on the carousel, just take the Swain there. We got perfect items. We got the Protector's Vow and the 2-star copy on him. So that's just great. But we're still not gonna win from this angle, right? I at least hope we lose here. And we did. So now we're at 4 losses. I'm just gonna scout the lobby after I'm done buying my units to see if we need to make our board weaker or not. It seems like there's some pretty weak opponents. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take out my Swain and just put him in the back so he's useless. Just to ensure I lose this round, because it's gonna give us so much money with our 5 loss streak right here. You really want to get economy good in the early game, because it's gonna scale in the late. Like 1 gold extra in the first stage is like 5 or 6 gold in the late game, something like that. In the late game, gold isn't as important, but in the early game you're gonna need to prioritize it, right? And here I didn't get the best item based on the stats, but honestly I just think it makes sense to build a Dragon's Claw, because this build is based on him just getting a lot of max HP and staying alive, so he does more damage based on his HP. So getting a Dragon's Claw is just gonna give him 5% of his health back every 2 seconds, which is gonna make him stay alive longer, and basically it's 1v9. So I think it makes sense. So I'm just gonna build it. Can't be that bad. So since I'm playing a Swain carry, he's basically my only front line. I just need him to stay alive. The healing orb is amazing right here for me, because every unit he kills or that gets killed, he just heals back 250 health, which, let's say he kills 4 units, that's 1k health back. It's basically like a Warmog. So that little silver augment was really good right here. In this comp especially, because it's gonna make my carry stay alive longer. So really glad I got that. It doesn't seem like it makes a lot of difference, but once he kills the unit, you see he gains a lot of HP back. So That was actually really good. So on this carousel, now we're starting to look for items for our Samira right here. So I'm gonna take a blue because we're gonna need at least another here there to get the blue buff, right? And a bow as well. That's, you can build so many AD or offensive items with that. So I'm just gonna take that other, because we don't need more tank items. Swain is our tank. Now we need damage. So we're gonna stay level 5 once we roll for Samira. And as soon as we hit Samira, I'm gonna start leveling up to level 6. So we have a higher chance of hitting Swain. And then I'm gonna re-roll for Swain. And once we hit him 3-star, then we're just gonna push level to put in 7 Noxus and to find that the Mordekaiser basically. So that's the plan. And we're also gonna re-roll for Naafiri. So we get Shurima and we also get the Challenger. It's a little nice trait, but you know, Naafiri, her Darkin bonus is just cracked. So every time Swain ulti, she's gonna ulti as well. So, and she's also a 2 cost, so you can reroll for her once you're rolling for Swain. It just makes a lot of sense to play Naafiri here. So that's really good. And we also found our blue buff right here. We could build we could build Last Whisper on Samira, but since we are pretty AP heavy, I figured it's just better to wait for better items. If we had a more AD heavy team, it makes more sense to go for the Last Whisper on Samira, but now we are carrying AP Swain carry here, so I'm not gonna build Last Whisper in this game, but other than that, it's not a bad item on Samira. Runa's Hurricane, we can't build that on Samira since we have blue buff and she has basically 20 mana, so she doesn't auto that much. It doesn't make sense to build an auto bonus item on Samira. She needs damage items that buff her damage on her ability, so Giant Slayer, Infinite Edge, Deathblade, that stuff. And yeah, I took CHarmacist as you saw before there. It's basically nice to have you some healing on my Samira so she doesn't die there in the back. But mainly it's just because Swain does so much damage and he's just gonna heal more and stay alive longer. So pretty good stuff. Anything to make my Swain stay alive is gonna make me win the game, basically. That's just how it goes. So here we're just gonna go for the double rods. I don't know, was not a lot of good choices right there. Basically, the reason why I'm taking the rods here is just I'm thinking a bit ahead in the future. So I'm looking for items for my Mordekaiser, because that's gonna be the unit that I'm gonna itemize. We only have that many items to build in TFT, right? So our next in is gonna be the Mordekaiser on the item front right there. We're just gonna need to find a unit to, you know, hold the items until we found him. So we are strong until we find the Mord, right? So I was thinking a lot about that. I realized later that I'm just gonna put my items on Karma because she gives Invoker, we can play her until we have a Mord. Why not? Doesn't seem that bad, right? So let's see, literally everyone is around my Swain right here, and he's just the 1v9ing. Look at this. Look at his HP bar right here. He's gonna have like 8k HP. This comp is pretty crazy. It's really fun to play as well, so if you get the chance to play this, you need to try it out. Trust me. See, almost 8k HP, yeah. That's kind of cracked. Not gonna lie. So on these Raptors, let's see what we can find. I mean, pretty okay items. We're just gonna build this Karma. So we are gonna build Infinite Edge on Samira. Get her AD item on board, right? We couldn't find the last item on Samira. Was some pretty awkward choices. So we're just gonna go for the Mordekaiser items from here at least. And I'm also gonna build what's it called? The item that removes MR. Spark. yeah, I'm gonna build a Spark on some frontline units that's next to Swain. Just so we remove their MR, it's gonna make Swain do more damage. It just makes sense, right? So we're gonna level up, put in Karma right here, and gonna build the Ginso, and we're gonna build the Rabadons. So what our options were right here, we could either build Crown Guard on Mordekaiser, or we can build the Spark. But I figured Spark is gonna help Mord, and it's gonna help Swain. Spark is gonna give me more damage than what a Crown Guard would do on Mordekaiser, in my opinion. So we're gonna just wait until we find a nice unit to put that Spark on. We'll see what we put it on. I haven't decided yet. We'll see. So the battle versus the rerolls here. We even beat a Shogat, and you know, guys, I really love my Shogat reroll comp. That's really broken and so fun. So if the Swain board can beat the Shogat, I mean, that's a good sign in my book. So I gladly take the Mord here if I can get it, but no surprise here, I couldn't. But honestly, it's not so bad. We got a rapid fire cannon instead, so we're just gonna need to find that Mord, and then we're gonna be really strong. So just looking forward to that, honestly. So this is the sorcerer board. I haven't tried playing Swain on like a full sorcerer build. According to the stats, it wasn't bad. It has like basically the same win rate as the Noxus Swain carry. But I figured just Noxus makes more sense, because you can reroll for other 3 stars. You get HP, which works well with the augment. I think the Noxus is better with Swain, but I don't know. If you just get like 6-8 swords, it's pretty broken always. So, and there we found the Mord already, so really good stuff. I'm gonna put the Mord left to Swain, just so he stays behind Swain and is safe. So we're gonna give him the Ginso, we're gonna give him the RFC and the Death Cap as well, of course. Let's see what we get from the item anvil right here. So we got another Spark there. We don't need another one. So we're just gonna go for Hand of Justice on our Samira right here. We already have healing on her, so it's not that valuable, but it's really good because it gives us more crit, which is good for our Infinite Edge. We also have CHarmacist, so excess healing is gonna do more damage to enemies, and Hodge gives us more healing, so it was a really good item right here. I think there's better items for Samira, but just in this scenario, it was actually a goated item to find. Just makes so much sense in this comp, right? We're also gonna put the Nafiri here, just so she gets the Darken bonus to someone, either Mordekaiser or Swain. And yeah, you see, Mord just stays in a safe distance and scales up his attack speed and just wipes out the board later. So yeah, pretty good stuff. So now we're just looking for Scion, so we get that 7 Noxus. It's gonna be a huge power spike. The other power spikes just hitting our 2-star Mord, and then we're actually just good to go. Now we're just putting in some other filler tank or support units that we can find. I need a unit that stays alive for a long time to have the Spark, so we're gonna... So Noxus is gonna do that job, which is very nice. So let's see. It's the matchup versus the Show again. I mean, I have a Dragon's Claw, so his Zorks and Show isn't doing enough damage on me, so probably a Dragon Claw diff right here. So onto the carousel right here, we found the Scion. We're just gonna go for a Scion here. I mean, I could go for a Spatula to get Tactician's Crown. Honestly, yeah, I could have done that. That wouldn't be too bad, but I'd rather secure my Scion here, honestly. And I also get a Juggernaut spat, so I get some value out of it. It gets more tanky. So on to the last fight right here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe for more TFT Set 9.5 content. And I'll be sure to keep pumping these videos out. But yeah, let's just finish this fight, and thank you guys for watching. Peace out.